my job to shine a bright light, a national spotlight, on some of the best music programs in the country. Specifically, the finest marching bands. Now, I flew in from far away, pretty far away, on the East Coast, from a pretty large city on the East Coast. And I've been flying around all week to schools to share some really special news. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yes!
Are you sure you want to hear it?
Yes!
It gives me great pride, and it is with great pleasure that I announce this morning that for the first time in quite a while, this high school, Prospect High School Marching Knights, have been selected to represent the great state of Illinois and perform in New York City in the 2016 Macy's Thanksgiving Day. Macy's Thanksgiving Day. Are you awake enough? Can you do it? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So that's what I wanted you to come down here for this morning.
I'm Hannah Thornton. I'm a sophomore. I'll be a junior soon. My name is, should I spell it?
Yep.
HANNAHTHORNTON. And yeah, I'm in grade 10, going into grade 11. I'm a drum major. I walked in and I saw all these super professional people and I was like, whoa, this really is a big deal. I walked in, I didn't expect any of this. I thought maybe Mr. Barnum was just going to announce something, maybe some bad news, maybe some good news. I had no idea what to expect. Then I saw all these authority figures and I was just like, wow, this is really happening. It was a little overwhelming. Everybody around me was freaking out. It was exciting. Well, my heart I just like seized up and I was like, wait, really? And then I turned to my friends next to me and she started screaming. She was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a big deal. And then like we got to roll out the banner and everybody was just clapping and confetti was everywhere and it was just such a great deal and everybody was so happy. And I don't think I've felt this much happiness and this much togetherness in the bannerment once ever before in my entire career.
Gets better.
I'm Chris Barnum. Do you need the spelling?
Yes, please.
Chris, CHRISBARNUM.
And you are?
I'm the band director at Prospect High School. To be honest, it started this year, or at last year's Macy's parade. I watched the parade on TV and saw a couple bands that I was sort of familiar with, and just thought that it just looked amazing. You know, the crowd and the fact that I was sitting at home with my two kids watching this parade, and that's a tradition on Thanksgiving morning. And so I just thought, how about that? So I started talking to a few folks, in particular Barry Hauser at the University of Illinois, who's taking his band, the Marching Illini, down there next year, about what that process looks like, and started pulling together the materials. It was really hard. You know, I mean, a lot of the things we do here, you always want to share good news. And even just the fact that I was applying felt exciting. You know, it felt like even just putting it together was something. But, you know, I really wanted it to be a surprise if we made it. And I think that sort of paid off this morning. Yeah, I think they were all thinking something negative, unfortunately. You know, I told them yesterday we're having a secret meeting tomorrow morning. I can't tell you what it is. I said everything's fine. But from what I heard from the kids coming in, they didn't all quite hear that message. They all thought it was going to be something negative. And I think when they saw all the building and district administration coming with me, they were like, Mr. Barnum's in trouble. But we're not.
So level in this room.
Oh wow! I mean, it was something else. I mean, it's hard to think of another moment that's just quite is the same as something like this. I mean, you know, having Mr. Watley out from New York was just really special, and the way he presented this to the students was just so perfect. It was just, he just created such a perfect moment. And afterwards, when he had a few speakers from the district, they were just so complimentary of the kids, and I was just so happy to hear I was so happy for the kids to hear the way that what they do is looked at, you know, and that people really do appreciate the kids and respect what they do and are just so proud of them. I mean, for right now, I think this was probably the way to get it started. Right now, we're really looking ahead to next year, right? That sort of is the start. And we'll start some long-term planning a little bit, but it's going to be sort of exploratory for the time being, just sort of gathering of information. And I'm sure later this year, we'll probably start to ramp it up a little bit. Probably after this marching season is when we'll really get going. So we'll spend the next 18 months doing research and learning and talking and listening, and we're just very excited.